Good morning, Dawn, and welcome to the Thunderdome, the final 24 hours. Can you give me an update on your schedule, the campaign, and where we at, buddy?
Well, I've been, like, basically the last 3 months I've been on the road doing, 4 to 7 events a day. I just got off the road with a couple days with J.D. Vance. I don't usually spend a lot of time with my father on the road because I figure one Trump in the room is generally enough, if not oftentimes more than enough. But I figured for this last day, it's kind of a historic time. I'm meeting with my father today in North Carolina. We're doing an event here. We're doing 2 in PA, another one at like midnight in Michigan tonight. Just joining up for the last day with him. But honestly, guys, on the ground, it feels so good. It has a 2016 vibe to it. Maybe more so. Maybe, I think what it is, it's not just sort of, the white guy in a MAGA hat anymore. It's every walk of life, every race, religion. It's amazing. The people that are coming up to me, not at a rally, but when I'm at, some airport in the middle of nowhere, that are just fed up with what's going on. They see through the lies. They see through the nonsense. They're sick of the invasion at our border. They're sick of the Biden-Harris cost of living crisis. They believe their eyes. They're not going to believe the media. They believe what they see each and every day. So it feels very good. But that said, we have to turn up. I see, look at the numbers. Men aren't showing up quite as well as women. We need everyone to show up. You're fighting for the future of your country. If you sit this one out, it's all on you.
Yes. So this tracks with what we're seeing in the early vote. There's a lot of canaries in the coal mine on the early vote, Dom, that's showing really positive movement. Of course, overconfidence is a killer, but you are seeing massive trend lines. Of course, we have a man on the street show, and we walk into Fulton County to give away MAGA hats, and they're gone in like 10 minutes. You can't, you can't stop. I think like this level of momentum.
No, I mean, that feels really good. I mean, that's perhaps the most unusual outlier that I noticed myself. Like I said, again, not at a rally, but when I'm at an airport or something like that, I take right now, like per capita, right? If you broke it out like as a percentage of population, like I think I take more selfies now with African-American men than anyone. Like it's, and that would have never been the case. There were, a couple of guys fist bump you every once in a while. Now it's like, they get it. They see it. They understand the persecution of my father really well. Perhaps there's, some relatability there, but whatever it is, you don't see that enthusiasm. You don't see any enthusiasm really for Kamala Harris. It's, maybe it's, suburban white women who, abortion is their only issue. And whatever. I'm like, well, what about your sons? Like, how about World War III? How about the draft? I understand you're worried about your daughter's rights, and like, we get that. I don't think the things that they're putting out there are even remotely true as it relates to my father's actual stance on these things. But like, what about your boys getting sent to World War III because the Democrat Party has become the party of war? I don't see any thought about that. And I have both girls and boys, and I'm much more worried about World War III than I am pretty much anything else on the table. And that's where we're headed under the Democrats if they win.
Yes, I think that you brought up the word persecution. I think that people see that, and that is creating a paradigm shift where those who understand that this system is rigged against them and that there is true totalitarianism and a tyranny state are siding now with your father to destroy that state. And I don't think there's ever been a better crystallization of that than Harambe in 2016, but perhaps we have our new Harambe in Peanut the Squirrel, where this weekend in your home state of New York, where you were raised, the feds raided a orphan squirrel that was saved by his owners that brought joy to millions every single day, had 3 million followers on social media, was a peaceful, happy squirrel that brought joy and livelihood to millions every single day, and they killed him. Don, they went in and they said, somebody gave us a report on this squirrel. We're gonna kill the squirrel, and this is the power. This is the tyranny. I think that people see, and they're now seeing it in real time here with Peanut the Squirrel.
Yeah, I've been very vocal about this one because I think it's a perfect example. I mean, it is Harambe 2024, basically. Peanut is Harambe 2024. But Peanut, I mean, you look at these videos, Peanut's also like the Elon Musk of squirrels. Like, they found the highest IQ squirrel in the history of squirrels. And we're just going to kill him. I mean, and if you look at the fact set, it's also insane. This guy runs like an animal shelter. It's not like, he's holding rabid squirrels. And it just shows the extent, and I've been fact checked. They're like, well, it wasn't Democrat policy. I'm like, excuse me, it's New York State. Literally everyone is a Democrat that's in government. And it shows the extent of Democrat overreach. There's nothing they won't control. There's no freedom they're not willing to infringe upon. They can't take a squirrel that has millions of followers, is perfectly well trained, unlike any squirrel I've ever seen in my life, and I'm an outdoorsman. And they decided rather than, we're going to have to test it for rabies. The only problem is the only way to get post-mortem, so they have to kill this thing. And a raccoon, by the way. I'm sort of shocked the squirrel got more attention than the raccoon. But, that's the Democrat Party. There's nothing they won't touch. There's no way. They can't leave you alone. They can let tens of thousands of illegal immigrants punching cops, looting, stealing. We'll house them in luxury hotels in New York. We'll give them phones and court dates in 30 years, and we'll give them money at the border. There's hundreds of thousands of rats all over New York City. There's 20,000 plus complaints, I think it's like a month, about rats. They will do nothing about that. But if you have a squirrel that's lovely, that's trained, that's in your home, that has followers, they're going to go in there and kill it. These are the same people that want to take away your guns. It's lunacy. It's just the perfect example. It's hard to believe that a squirrel could be sort of this catalyst, but it's just so perfect to show that there's nothing they won't touch. There's no amount of overreach won't go to control your lives, to exercise their will upon you. And we have to say enough is enough of this insanity. So, I want justice for Peanut.
Justice for Peanut. I wonder if you could give a message to Peanut's owner about what a Trump administration would do to people who want to save orphaned animals. It seems like the most honorable and virtuous thing that everybody should be able to agree upon. And as obviously an animal lover and a conservationist yourself, I'm sure this really hit home.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 7 dogs and, a rabbit in my house. My kids have 5 other dogs in our house. We're animal lovers. We have a rabbit.
What's that rabbit's
and a
name?
Saltwater fish tank, Lily.
Lily, okay.
So we got it all. We have a lot of kids and 2 houses, and it's crazy. So we got a lot of pets, and we love them all. But listen, the reality is this: we're going to focus on things that matter. Like we're going to stop World War III. We're going to negotiate peace in the Middle East and with Russia and Ukraine. We're going to close down our border and stop the fentanyl from coming across. We are not going to get in your day-to-day life on little things that no one else cares about. We are not going to overmanage your life. We're going to let you live your own life. Make basic decisions for yourself without having to exert our will upon you. This is really simple stuff. I mean, there's so many things the government could be doing. Okay, but Peanut would be better off being a legal immigrant. It'd be given money, it'd be given shelter, they'd be given housing, even if it was an illegal immigrant criminal, because criminals are treated better now than American citizens. And this is the perfect evidence of that. So, that's not going to happen in a Trump administration. That kind of stuff has to stop. And it also, again, it's no surprise that it happened in a communist state like New York. Okay, I'm a political refugee from New York. Moved to Florida. It has to stop, guys. This is not freedom anymore. It's not a joke when we talk about we're going down the path towards socialism and much worse in communism. That's where we're headed. And you have a choice tomorrow. You can pick which way you want to go, but that's up to you. But I encourage you to choose Trump, and I encourage you to bring a lot of friends. If you guys sit this one out, it's on you. They're going to play games. They're going to do whatever it is they can do to win. They will somehow get Kamala Harris across the line, even if no one actually believes it. We can stop it, but we're not going to stop it by ourselves. You guys need to be a part of that. Show up, vote, stay in line. If you see something shady, document it, video it. Do not allow them to play these games. This time, we're prepared. But they're always good at adapting. They're far better at that than us. They'll figure out another way. Watch it. Don't let anything escape us. The future is ours if we get up and we show up.
Yes, I believe that there are only a few acceptable times for a man to cry: the birth of his children, maybe like the death of his dog, right? Like the loving of an animal, and the connection between I had 2 dogs growing up. And losing them was some of the worst moments in my life. I think that's why this Peanut story hit so hard. So, yeah. Don, could you give a message to those men out there? Obviously, your father is welcomed like a roaring hero at a UFC event fight, right? Like he sits ringside. Yeah. There's a lot of love for your father from men. Donald Trump winning men in all the polls, but we need men to show up to the polls. Can you give a message to men right now?
Hey guys, get out there and do it. If you want to get sent off to World War III by Kamala Harris so that Liz and Dick Cheney can make a couple bucks through their side businesses at big war, that's up to you. Not my choice. You guys have to get up and you have to show up. Right now, the women are definitely outperforming the men in showing up, and I get there's reasons for that. Maybe it's work or whatever it may be. You guys have to get involved. You have to get off your ass and vote. You have to level of resolve that my father showed on July 13th when he got shot in the face. You see it. All these Democrats, everyone's a tough guy on the keyboard this day. You get shot in the face, you come up defiant, ready to fight. Back him. Support him. That's the guy that will keep you out of a war. That's the guy that stops our enemies from taking advantage of us. That's the guy that gets peace deals done. That's the guy that can grow an economy because he's done it before. And that's the reality, guys. We've lived under both administrations. Kamala Harris has been there for 4 years, and we are all far worse off. Trump fixed things. He got it done. Kamala Harris is not an agent of change. She's going to be an agent of change for the worse, the continuation of these failed policies. So, guys, get off your ass and vote. Bring the women, too. But, I can see it in some of the numbers. There's a little bit of a difference. It's not as crazy as some people would, have you believe. But it always historically is. Guys spit these things out. But, guys, you're going to be the ones bearing the brunt of World War III, okay? Because everyone's a feminist. In a time of peace and want people on the combat lines, once you're actually at war, some of these things change a lot. And that's where we are when you look at what's going on in Russia and the Middle East. So, guys, it's up to you. Get out there, make it happen. Vote, vote, vote. And then bring your friends. If you've early voted, take a couple minutes, call your friends, text them, make sure they get it. Because a lot of people are just struggling to get by. It's hard right now. They're not paying attention. They believe what's happening on CNN is actually real. Don't do that. You see that in some of the polls. They're designed to either make you overconfident so you sit on your ass at home, or they're designed to demoralize you so you sit at home. You saw that nonsense out of Iowa the other day. Like, I'll bet that person like six figures that we're not losing Iowa, but they're designing it to try to dissuade you. You see how it shifted the betting markets. The second that happened, all of a sudden the betting markets tightened up. It's one nonsense poll that, by the way, J.B. Pritzker, the communist governor of Illinois, was talking about like hours before it released to people because he had the inside information, which if you don't, is like literally the most unethical thing imaginable. So that's a Democrat fix. It's a Democrat plant. You saw Stuart Stevens, Mitt Romney's guy, talking about it as though it was real. The rhinos and the Democrats are going to play this game. They're trying to demoralize you. They're trying to get you to stay at home. They're trying to undo what we've been able to do at the RNC and with the Trump campaign for the last few weeks in early voting. Do not let them get away with it. Show up, fight for your country, fight for your future, fight for your children, because I can assure you they're all worth it. Get in line, stay in line. It's not that hard. I don't care if it's a couple hours. Like, relative to where we can go as a country, relative to, World War III versus affordable groceries, like, it's kind of a no-brainer. Get in line, stay in line. If you see something shady, make sure you capture it so everyone else can see it and we can fight back.
It seems like they're throwing everything that they possibly can against the wall, Don, and it's not working. This is the footage from last night in Macon, Georgia. This looks like any type of massive country music it looks like Woodstock, but it's just to support your father. They didn't need Lizzo. Democrats have been trotting out Eminem, Usher, pretty much emptying the entire Diddy tapes. Okay, J-Lo, right? Diddy's ex-girlfriend. Yeah. They're bringing them all out. Is it gonna work?
I don't think so. Honestly, you don't even see that much coverage of it because, they put, what was it, Cardi B up there, and then the teleprompter went out, and she didn't know why she was actually there, right? Like, she couldn't, articulate why she supported Kamala Harris, and no one can. That's the point. The Democrats are just running against Trump, but no one's got an affirmative message for, why they would vote for Kamala Harris. It's just against Trump. I'm like, I don't know. Trump kept us out of wars. He was signing peace deals in the Middle East. That was like the holy grail of politics prior to it not being a big deal at all because no one else was able to do it prior to my father. The economy, there's nothing good they can actually run on. They just want power and they want control, as evidenced by what they. I mean, this is the insanity. So if we show up, we can end this nonsense. It's sort of hard to believe that Trump can put that many people in there. He doesn't need Bruce Springsteen and these other people to do that. And it does seem strange that it feels like everyone who was even Cardi B was saying, I'm staying out of politics. I'm staying out of politics. A few of these other guys were all out of politics until the Diddy tapes broke.
Yep.
Usher said it too, right? He wasn't good. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I actually promoted him. Like, if maybe everyone who knows nothing about politics should stay out of it. Maybe everyone who's a billionaire or worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and like, the change, when groceries go up 50%, it doesn't affect them. It doesn't crush their will to live when the interest rates make their homes totally unaffordable because of incompetent policy and because we keep sending money to, billions to Ukraine every week. Maybe they should sit it out. And it's sort of interesting. Then the Diddy tapes happen and everyone starts endorsing. It's like, all right, I know where this is going. They're all there. They're all part of it. None of that stuff's a conspiracy anymore. And by the way, they've all been photographed there, so you know what's happening. So we can vote against that too, and maybe put some decency back into politics as well. So yeah, I don't think it matters, but what matters is that everyone actually shows up. When you see these stats, 20% of people lied about actually voting. It's like, just get in line, vote. Your employers have to let you do that. Don't let your job, get out. If you're in line, stay in line. If you get in line by the times the polls close, whether it's 7 o'clock, usually about that, just stay in line. They have to let you do it. And by the way, if they're not going to let you do it, take a day off. Honestly, it's worth it relative to the future of our country. It's not even close. Get out there and vote. Do not let these guys pull this off. And by the way, but the big thing is actually doing it right. Like, make it decisive. Like, if it's decisive and everyone really turns out and everyone votes this way for us, like, we can end this nonsense once and for all. If it's close, you know what they're going to do. They're going to drag it up. Days to count these 1,500 votes to see which way this thing goes. And magically, oh, look what we found. Look what we found. The totally impossible statistic spike. End it tomorrow. End it on election day. End it by overwhelming the inevitable BS that they will try to pull if it's close.
I just can't believe that 2024 brought us Eminem endorsing Dick Cheney. I can't believe it. Eminem siding with Dick Cheney.
Well, how about just the Democrat Party embracing Dick Cheney? I mean, I remember about 3 months ago, when for 30 years he was the greatest war criminal in the history of America. I mean, like, yes. That's their words, not mine. I agree with them on this one, actually. It's one of the few things that we're probably bipartisan agreement on. But we traded Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney for RFK, Tulsi Gabbard, Vivek, Elon Musk. I mean, imagine letting Elon just do his thing, like fixing the broken bureaucracy. I mean, this is a guy that's like 3 years. NASA has a 75-year head start, and he's destroying them, crushing. We're catching spaceships out of air with chopsticks now. It's like the modern day version of Mr. Miyagi in catching a fly with a chop. We're doing it with rockets. Elon did that by himself as a private company. Like, this guy wants to come and help and fight for America. Like, please allow him to do that. That's the Einstein of our era. But the Democrats are never going to do it because they're incapable of that. They just want power, bureaucracy, and control. He could save $1 trillion in our federal government cleaning this stuff up, and it will function better. Just like when he got rid of 80% of Twitter's broken workforce, and it actually started functioning. There's nothing we can't do, and that's the difference. We've assembled a team. It's not Kamala Harris and Tampon Tim, who literally can't do anything other than put tampons in boys' bathrooms. Like, these are their think of the difference. Think of what we could do. Like, just don't squander that opportunity, lifetime chance to really change the future and the trajectory of our country. Do not pass that up. And now for the libertarians, like, Ron Paul is now going back and forth with Elon on Twitter. It's like figuring out how to get involved. Like, get out and vote. It's so easy. Just do it. Just do it.
Do it for Peanut.
Do it for Peanut, guys. Peanut. R.I.P., buddy.
Don, this has been an unbelievable ride. Everybody needs to tune in to Don's X page. Speaking of a shout out to Elon, Don has 12.5 million subs on X. Get on over there. Obviously, but you want to stay tuned to this last 24 hours. It's going to be rocking. It's going to be rolling, and it's going to be biblical. God bless you, Don. Good luck today, man.
Thanks a lot, buddy. I got to go hit the road. I'm going to join up with DJT now, finish this off strong. But everyone, get out and vote like you're the third monkey in line for the Ark, and it is how critical it is. Get out, do it. Bring your friends, bring your loved ones, text them, especially in the swing states. Whatever you would do if you woke up on November 6th and Kamala Harris was president-elect, do it now. Do it for the next 36 hours. Just Do it. Let's win this thing. Let's put him to bed.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Thank you, Don.
Be good,
God
buddy.
bless you, man. Godspeed.
Bye.